Well, I feel like I've been hit in the mouth with a baseball bat. Time to ride home. Let's get cracking. Oof. Well, I just had a crown put on my tooth. Not a good morning. Good moto morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Kraken's Garage. I'm your host, Eric. And on Kraken's Garage, we discuss all good things on 2 and 3 wheels. And on today's episode, I'm going to talk about not my crown or my tooth, but I want to talk about I sold my truck. I am now carless for a very long time. Let's talk about that. Let's get cracking. So why did I sell my truck? This is a question of economics. Here in North America right now, power sports, cars, trucks, boats are bringing premium prices. Incredibly stupid amount of money. I don't drive very much. My truck was a 2019 Ram Rebel. I had a whopping 14,000 miles on it. I don't drive very much. And I thought, what the heck, let me check and see what it's worth. Now, after being in the car business, I have a general feel for, depreciation values and what it should be worth and versus what I paid for it. And CarMax is a unusual company here in the United States. They actually started out as Circuit City selling electronics, big screens, stereos, things like that, and then they got into the car business. And oddly enough, Circuit City went Tango uniform, and CarMax has stood the test of time, so there you have it. But they make a very painless way to buy a car, and it's non-negotiable pricing. They put their best price right up front. Whether you buy a car or not, they'll appraise your car and tell you what it's worth, and you can sell it to them or not. And then they have a kiosk system for if you want to do, if you have to finance your vehicle, you just pick the term and whatever. The interest rate is based on your credit. So, boop, 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 happy motoring, and you're out the door. It's incredible. So I went online and I put in my vehicle identification number and said, gee, let's see what my truck is worth. And I did this about 3 weeks ago, and they hit me at $44,000, and I'm like, that is stupid money on my truck. So I'm like, I got to thinking about it. I sat on it for about 2-3 weeks, and then I went back and put it in again, and it had dropped down to $42,000. I'm like, I talked to Mrs. Kraken, and I said, I'm going to send it. The truck is not worth that kind of money at this time, and this bubble that's happening economically in the car, truck industry and moto industry is going to pop, and all these people that are paying this stupid amount of money for vehicles are going to get into a real bind if they ever decide they want to get rid of them. So I sent it down the road. They stroked me a check, Johnny on the spot, $42,000, happy motoring. It's a shame I left $2,000 on the table over a couple of weeks, but that's okay. And I marched down to my local Ford store and I ordered a Ford Bronco, not a Bronco Sport. Bronco Sport's more like it's more like the Ford Explorer. And the actual Bronco is more like a throwback to the one that came out in 1966. And of course, like the one that O.J. Simpson tried to evade police in. If that gives you an idea of what the vehicle I'm talking about. It's an unusual vehicle. I'm an outdoorsy person, hunter, fisherman. I'm towing trailers, hauling firewood, etc., etc. So I need a utilitarian vehicle. That's just who I am, and four-wheel drive is a must for the areas that I go into, let alone hauling trash to the dump and things like that. My camera's sagging. That car is in such demand here in North America that there are people that have been waiting over a year and haven't received their order yet on the Bronco. It is so bad that people have gone in and ordered 2 and 3 of them. They drive them for a week, take them to auction and sell them at auction, and they're bringing $15,000 over MSRP, what they paid for the vehicle. And used car dealers, and Ford dealers for that matter, because they can't get them, are buying them. And all across the nation, they're selling for $30,000 over list price. Ay caramba, what the heck is happening in this economy we live in? So where I'm going with this is, I think the bubble is going to burst on the housing market, and you're going to see a real recession happen in North America. The homes that are selling in my area are selling for $50,000 to $100,000 over the asking price, are the kind of bids that they're getting. It's crazy. So sooner or later, what goes up will come down, and that goes for the car business and the housing business as well. So all these people that are paying exorbitant prices for these vehicles, and you know, they'll mark my truck up to $47,995 or something like that, and that's about what I paid for brand new 3 years ago. They're going to be in a world of hurt, and and when money gets tight, you're going to see a lot of foreclosures and repossessions, and that goes for the motorcycle industry as well. I think for all you opportunistic people out there in the moto world that like to buy beater bikes and flip them, your chance is going to come in 2023. The market is going to get flooded with people that can't afford all these toys. When money tightens up, boats and motorcycles, jet skis, all of that stuff is the first thing to go. And then lastly, their vehicles. And these car dealers that are absolutely gouging on pricing on their trucks and high demand vehicles are going to wind up with a lot full of brand new vehicles and playing floor plan like they did a couple of years ago. They were just covered in cars before all this COVID mess happened. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Now the downswing is we're going into winter and all I have is two wheels. Mrs. Kraken and I kicked around using her car jointly, but primarily I'm stuck on a bike or my bikes for most likely the next year. We'll see how this pans out. Maybe I could find a hoopty. Hoopty is a slang term for a beater car, you know, 150,000 mile Camry or something like that, that I could just knock around in the meantime. But even beaters are bringing stupid money. So those are my thoughts on the global economy in the moto world. It's going to be an interesting ride for a lot of people. And how you play your cards in this game of life economically will have huge ripple effects on your own personal finances, funding for your kids' school and education, college. There's a time to buy and a time not to buy. The time to sell in North America is right now if you have a desirable piece of merchandise, meaning a car or a bike or something like that. And you'll be able to go back and buy the same vehicle a year from now, mark my words, $10,000 cheaper. So those are Kraken's thoughts on the auto industry, bike industry, and housing market in North America, and why I do the things I do. I'm very strategic on how I plan my life financially. So I hope this tip kind of helps somebody. We're going to cut and go to a shout out, and then I'll meet you right back here for the closeout.
And we interrupt this special program today to give another shout out. This week's shout out goes to As Josh Sees It. He has 1,140 subs, 25 videos, rocking a BMW GS 1250. He recently sold his BMW R18 First Edition to purchase a 2022 BMW S1000RR with the M package in mineral gray. It has the full carbon package panels on it, as well as carbon fiber wheels, slip-on exhaust, etc. He has two glorious bikes. His videos primarily center around camping and bike reviews and some of his travels. Josh does an amazing job. He hails from Southern California. What I like about his channel, he doesn't put out a lot of content, but what I like about his channel is it has a high production value. He does a wonderful job on his editing and narrative. His audio and video is on point. It's always a joy to watch. So if you would be so kind to go by and check out As Josh Sees It. I will have his links down below as well as his Instagram. And if you decide you like his channel and subscribe to it, please let him know that Kraken sent you. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. Thank you for listening.
And welcome back. There's my ghost dog, Bourbon. He's right up here to tell me to wrap up this video. If you'd like to become a Patreon, the link is listed right down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you want to see more in the future, hit that subscribe button right down there in the corner. And remember, folks, go riding because it's good for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.